Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk to Experts Tuesday. Today's topic is Qlik Sense, so ask your questions, all things Qlik Sense. With me, I have this fabulous team of panelists. Before we introduce the panelists, I'm going to turn the call over to Jamie Gregory, and Jamie will go over some housekeeping rules with you and just let you know where to put your questions. Again, enjoy the time, and Jamie, I'll give it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Sue. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Talk to Experts Tuesday. We are so thrilled to have all of you here with us today. As Sue mentioned, my name is Jamie Gregory, and I will be your moderator for this session. This webinar series is designed to give all of you an hour with a few of our product experts. You can use this time to ask some questions about the topic at hand, and it also gives you an opportunity to get to know some of us. So we do have a few housekeeping rules for today, or items. Everyone is on mute, so make sure you use the Q&A panel to ask your questions. We will not necessarily be using the panel to respond to your questions, as we're going to try to get to everyone's questions live today. If we don't get to your question, or if it's something that may take a little bit of time to research, the answer will be available in the Qlik community along with the recording. I will remind everyone where that is a little bit later in this session. If you hopped on to get your question answered and then you have to leave, that's definitely okay. You should receive a prompt for a survey. Please take the time, it takes less than a minute to fill that out, and give us some feedback on how we can improve these sessions for you or another topic you would like to see. The subject does not need to be about an overall product. It can be specific. You know, we've had some great suggestions like security rules in Qlik Sense, using multiple Qlik products together, scalability testing. Really, the sky is the limit. So we want to make sure we're allowing all of you the opportunity to ask the questions that you need answers to. So again, all feedback is appreciated. And if you do not receive a prompt for the survey, you can email us any feedback at digital@qlik.com. If you think of a topic at a later time, feel free to email us as well. I'll put that email address in the chat for you in just a few minutes here. Also, you will see a QR code on the slides today, and that QR code links to the registration page for our next session, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So all of our panelists are within Qlik support today. We will not be able to answer questions regarding a specific case. And we also, again, ask that you keep the questions related to the topic at hand, which for today is Qlik Sense Enterprise SaaS and Qlik Sense Business. So again, use the Q&A panel below to get your questions in. And while we wait for you all to enter those questions in, I will take this time to introduce everyone on the panel. Joining me today, I have Alonzo Eubank, Technical Support Engineer, Francisco Fernandez, Technical Support Engineer, and Damien Villaret. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but he's a Senior Technical Support Engineer. So Alonzo, will you please go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Alonzo Eubank here. I'm Tech Support Engineer at Qlik. I joined the company actually late last year, and the initial product that I do is I focus on the SaaS and the Qlik DataTransfer side.
Oh, great. Thank you, Alonzo. Francisco?
Hello, my name is Francisco, and I'm a connector SME and a cloud champion as Alonso, and I've been working at Qlik for a couple of years already.
Nice, great. Thank you, Francisco. And Damien.
Hi, everyone. My name is Damien. I've been with Qlik for 8 years. I work in the Lund office in Sweden, and my main focus is APIs and authentication and content embedding.
Great, thank you. All right, well, let's go ahead and just, oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Jamie Gregory again. I am a Senior Technical Support Engineer here at Qlik. I've been with the company just over 3.5 years now, and I primarily focus out in the Qlik community. I write the support updates blog. So I provide a lot of information on product updates, things that are happening within Qlik support, sharing videos, articles, all of that. So I'll show that blog a little bit later as well. Just also really quick, we do not have a product manager on the call today. So we probably won't be able to answer anything that's, what's to come, or is this ever going to be available within the product? So let's try to keep our questions to the topic at hand. If you have any issues or any questions about using Qlik Sense Enterprise SaaS or Qlik Sense Business, our experts on the call will be able to handle those questions. All right, so the first question is, how do I enable access for a new user to a space in Qlik Sense SaaS before they log in first time? There are 2 actions to invite and then later enable access, with potential waiting for the user after initial creation of an account until the admin is informed about the account creation before being able to grant access is less than optimal. Does anyone have any information about inviting users into a space?
So I guess I can answer that.
Okay.
So currently it's not possible. It has to be, the user has to be created in the Active Directory of the cloud or the IDP. It has to exist already. Otherwise, it cannot be. I mean, you cannot put privileges or assign a license if the user is not there yet. So yeah, I think this would be a feature request.
I agree with that. If everyone's not aware of how to create a feature request, it is out in the Qlik community. I can share my screen really quick and walk everyone through that. All right, let's see. Just give me one moment. I think it's almost my first time. I forgot to press share. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So out here in the Qlik community, that's community.qlik.com. If you go over here to ideation, there's a couple things that you can do. I usually go down here, suggest an idea. The first thing you always want to do when you're creating an ideation is to search for the idea. So you can put in a few key search terms, maybe like invite users would be a good search term for this one. Press search, and then you'll see the results come in. If something doesn't match, if there's not a match to what you're looking for, then you can go ahead and go here to suggest an idea and try to put as much information as you can in the idea. It's always best to, share screenshots if you can. Maybe with this one you won't really be able to, but just try to put as much information as you can, any files that you can upload to help illustrate the idea. And then if you want to share that idea out, I would highly suggest that. So share it with your peers within community as well. You do have to have a community login. You have to be a customer partner or luminary to enter in an idea. I was getting there, Sue. It just took me a minute. And then you can share it and anyone can vote on it. So you can either comment on it to show, that you're interested in this idea, you think it'd be really great. And then you can, give it a like. And that lets our product managers know that that's something that you're interested in. And they do look at this, they review all the ideas on a bi-weekly basis, and they do communicate through the life cycle of the idea. There's more information about all the statuses and all the just the process itself here in the ideation discussions page. You'll see some top posts here, getting started, how to submit an idea, status definitions, and the review process. I also did a blog about this recently. I actually featured Megan as our featured Content Friday, which I'll also plug again. You want to, if you're really passionate about the idea that you create, try to share it as much as you can, try to get as much traction on it. And we also do accept those kinds of submissions for Featured Content Friday. So that is a blog where we try to feature all of you. We feature internals as well as users, whatever you're creating out there. If it's an app, if it's an extension, whatever it is, a GIF. We love GIFs and digital support. But, share the idea. You can get a little bit more traction. We can put it out on the blog for you. All right, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And let's go to the next question. I think it kind of piggybacks off of that one. Is it possible to set an alert on user account creation to follow up with a user once they've logged in for the first time?
No, currently we don't have that feature yet.
Yeah. So that would be another great idea, I think, for ideation to get, because I do think that is a really great idea or improvement that could be made. All right. Our partner is going to be allowed an NFR cloud account where we can test features to better support our existing cloud customers. I don't know if anyone has any feedback on this one. I would have to say that, I don't know personally, but I would be happy to pass this along to our partner manager. So that maybe it's something that they could address in the future. If you want to reach out to your partner manager, if you haven't already, just let them know that this is something that you would like, and maybe they can either work with you or maybe there's already something in place on that. But I can definitely pass it along to our partner manager. Okay, let's see. How do I chain reloads together in SaaS?
That's a really good question, because it is not possible yet.
Okay.
I know that, I'm aware that R&D is working on that, but currently it's not available in the product. We don't have an ATA yet, but I would expect that maybe this year it's available. I mean, this is based on my guess.
Yeah.
This is not something official, but
yeah, don't take it officially.
Yeah. I know that R&D is definitely working on that. So yeah.
So this would be a good one, a good question too. We do have a product roadmap session. Sue, what day is that on? June 2nd? Oh, you're on mute, Sue.
Here I am. I believe it's June 3rd.
June 3rd.
Let me just triple check.
I can pull it up too. I'll show everyone actually where
the events and webinars page. Yes, please do.
Yeah, let me do that.
Actually, I can complement a little bit on this one. If you want to do a chain reload, you can trigger it like with the Qlik CLI or with our APIs in your script.
Oh.
But it's not the most optimal way because you don't have a way to manage it from a console, for example.
Okay, that makes sense.
But you could totally build your own solution that call our APIs and to make a chain of tasks. That's possible.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Damien. So like Damien said, you could use CLI or APIs currently. So this is, again, once again, the Qlik community events and then events and webinars. These are all the sessions that we have. A lot of them are on demand, so you can watch them at any time. And let me just see if I can find.
It's right there.
Oh, right here.
Right. Yeah, I changed the image.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? All right. So this is the Qlik product portfolio strategy and roadmap webinar. These are on a quarterly basis, and they are with the product managers where they will review what's to come on the roadmap. This session is for data analytics. So, it's all Qlik Sense, all data analytics side of the house, as opposed to data integrations. It's June 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I would recommend, going to this session as well, just, regardless, it's there for everybody. You do have to use your company email to sign up, and you do have to be a customer partner or Qlik luminary to attend. They are, just double checking email addresses. So please, don't use your Gmail account or anything like that.
Yep.
You can
and definitely, if you're interested, definitely try to join. They are not recorded, and there's nothing posted afterwards. So it's It's just the information that we get while we're there. And again, they are quarterly, and we flip between data analytics and data integration.
Oh, that's good to know. And, you know, I would imagine that if they don't touch on the subject that you were kind of looking for information on, I would imagine they have a Q&A session at the end where you can get some questions answered, hopefully. And again, use the ideation, and they'll communicate with you throughout the life cycle of the ideation as well.
And since we're on the topic of roadmap, if you're not registered for Qlik World and you're interested, it is free. It's online. It's next week. I put a link in the chat. If you're not registered, I would definitely register. There will definitely be a roadmap session that happens during it. I don't have the details. If it's all DA products, it'll be a little bit different than the one we hold June 3rd. But I would definitely register and sign up for some of the stuff that you would be interested in. I think you'll get a lot of good information.
Perfect. I'm just gonna, the link was set to all panelists, I think. Sue. Oh no, it's attendees, I'm sorry.
You got it.
All right, and then here's the registration for the product strategy, portfolio strategy, and roadmap session as well. And then I have one more link for everyone, and then here is the link for an example of task chaining with Qlik CLI. So hopefully that helps you as well. And then one more thing I'm going to put in the chat, digital@qlik.com. That is our email address here for the digital support team. So if you have any feedback or suggestions, just feel free to reach out to us at that email address. So there's kind of a lot in the chat, everyone. Grab all the links if you can. Otherwise, again, they will be posted in the FAQ. All right. Some great questions. Thank you, everyone. Let's see. For a user to use the action button and do a reload, what are the criteria that need to be in place? Can it be in a managed space, or does it only work in shared spaces? And do they need to be owners of the app?
It's quite a complex question actually, because it depends on a lot of things, and that action button that does a reload, it's not been introduced explicitly only for SaaS. It was also in the Windows version. And I remember in the Windows version, you needed some specific right that you had to assign with security rules. I'm not totally sure about in SaaS which right you would need, because the rights are kind of hard-coded based on which space you're publishing in. So that might need a little bit more testing and investigation before we can give a complete answer on this one.
Perfect. No problem. I think we can take that one offline and do some testing on that and get you an answer in the FAQ. So usually the FAQs are posted on Friday. If we need a little bit more time than that, it'll definitely be added still into the FAQ. Just it might be a little like a couple days later or something like that. But we'll take that one offline and see what we can figure out. All right, next question. Can you set an image for the links type content? And if so, how? So are you looking, I guess, to have an image displayed that links to an external website of some sort? I think that would be my question on this question.
A little bit more context here.
Okay. All right. If you could provide a little bit more information, hopefully we can help answer that question for you. Okay. I've installed Qlik DataTransfer to upload in Qlik Sense SaaS some data on premises. and created a secure connection between Qlik DataTransfer and SaaS editions of Qlik Sense tenant using an API key. After that, I'd like to go with the data folder sharing in order to upload some Excel files. After creating the connection with the folder, I tried to hit the upload button, but the following message was prompted. Loading failed, backend error, DTA underscore upload failed 400. What does this error mean? It's a long question. Did you guys get that?
Yeah, so basically this happens because it's likely that maybe some files don't contain anything or are blank files, or so basically what Qlik DataTransfer does is check if the file contains something, and if that fails, you will see that that kind of message. I think that we can suggest to R&D to improve the message, because it is not quite clear and it might lead to confusion, but it's just that the files are being checked. And this might also happen with applications. So for example, if an application fails, try to put a visualization, and it should stop happening after that.
Okay. Sounds good. We have another Qlik DataTransfer question. Are there any system requirements for Qlik DataTransfer?
Not really. I mean, I guess there are some standard requirements like 8 gigs of RAM and just about anything that's a standard amount of data and everything else. And I believe Qlik DataTransfer, it doesn't use as much data as far as your memory on your computer, but there are some system requirements that are out there for Qlik DataTransfer. I can try to look them up.
Okay. If you find them, we can share that, okay?
Yeah, I remember there was a page about some specific consideration, like if you can run it on the same server as Qlik Sense and what you need to pay attention to in that case. There's a page on the help site. I can try to find that one.
Okay, perfect. All right. So that person is kind of responding back about the using an image for the link. Yes, you can put up a link, but I'm not sure if you can add an image to represent it as you can with an app. You just get the blue generic icon. Makes it look a little bit nicer. Does anyone have anything? Do you want me to read the original question and that one together? I think they're all looking for links for you guys.
Yeah, we were all looking for links.
I know that there are some limitations when it comes to images used in applications, but I cannot recall right now what are those. If it's relevant for the question that we are trying to answer, you can put.
Maybe we'll take that one offline and do a little bit more digging on it, and then we can put it in the FAQ as well. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah, sounds fine.
Okay. All right, cool. We have got some homework today. That's okay. All right. Again, everyone, we're sending some, check the chat for some of the links that we've discussed. I think these gentlemen will be providing some more links here in just another minute on some of the Qlik DataTransfer system requirements. Make sure we're using the Q&A panel to ask our questions. It just helps us manage and track the questions, especially if we have like a busy chat with link sharing and everything like that. So get your questions in. We're almost halfway through, which is pretty wild. It's 25 after 10. So use the Q&A panel again. Once again, get your questions in while we have our experts on the call waiting for you. And like I said, we might need to take some time to research some of these things. I think that's okay. We'll get them in the FAQ, so you'll get your response. I'll actually go ahead and just take a minute to kind of share with everyone where everything lives. So everything goes out here in the Qlik community. So if you go here to support, and then programs, and then talk to experts Tuesday. Here under past events is where you'll see the entry for today's session. It'll just say Qlik Sense Enterprise SaaS and Qlik Sense Business. I'll just show you an example of what one looks like. It has the recording, the YouTube video of the recording, and then just give some links. So it'll have the link to the FAQ, which is lives out in the knowledge base here out on Qlik community, and then just some more information about Talk to Experts Tuesday. If you go, let's go back here to Talk to Experts Tuesday. Our next session is on QlikView. So if you have any QlikView questions, I would imagine for that one, we will not have a product manager on the call, but it'll just be about anything QlikView related, any questions that you may have related to QlikView. That's on May 18th, so 2 weeks from today at 10 a.m. Eastern. We do have more events on the books already. We don't have the registration links for them, but we'll be getting those posted here shortly. So if you want to see what's upcoming, just take a look here. And I'll try to let everyone know as well when more sessions are available. We have some really cool, Damien will be joining us again in June for API session as well. So that will be really fun. Francisco, are you on that one?
If you want to invite me, I will be
there. I just couldn't remember.
I think you're already invited.
Yeah, I think so too, but I can't remember.
Oh, okay,
who's all on it.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. And then the FAQ goes out here to the support knowledge base. If you're unfamiliar with support knowledge base, it's where all of our articles live. So you can definitely, if you just type FAQ or Qlik Sense FAQ, it'll be one of the first things to pop up here. Or like I said, you can just go to the Talk to Experts Tuesday program page and click the link there. And I think that was kind of it. Oh, I'll just show you the support updates blog really quickly. So it's under support updates blog. This is the blog that I write for everyone and communicate things that are happening within Qlik support. So yeah, if you guys, if you're not subscribed to this, I would definitely recommend, of course, to subscribe to it. You can get notifications in your email box about what's happening. If you don't want to subscribe, I would just recommend taking, a look at it on probably a weekly basis. I do post generally every day something. Sometimes it's guidance on things. Sometimes it's, master articles or like master posts that you can find information easily. And then sometimes if there's something kind of happening within Qlik support, like any issue that's come up, like this one that popped up today, you'll get notifications for that. So you'll be the first to know besides us. All right. Let's go ahead, take questions. If you have a client managed Sense setup, can you link it to several SaaS tenants or just one at a time? That's a good question. Does anyone know?
I never tried, but I think it's possible because you can create several deployments, so it should be possible to just distribute to several SaaS instances.
Okay. Sounds good to me. We can, I can ask around too after the session and see if we can get a more concrete answer on that one. That is a good question.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of getting the right custom properties on the right resources.
Okay, perfect. Is there any way to see what tasks are running? Sometimes a task that I run may be queued, but I'm not sure how I can check what other tasks are running.
Yeah, you can check that in the management console. If you're a tenant admin, you can go to events and you can check everything that is happening in the tenant at that moment.
Okay, perfect.
You can also check if user is currently connected and yeah, and all that. And also probably using the CLI, you can check that information.
Perfect. We've mentioned CLI now a couple times. Can anyone just briefly touch on that? Just in case there are people on the call that don't know what it is.
Basically, it's a tool that you can install and then you can use to call our APIs.
Okay,
it has a built-in help, so it's quite handy to find what you need just by typing -- help every time on each of the level. And
is it? I'm just gonna share my screen.
it's available on Qlik.dev. Also, there is documentation on how to install it.
Is it
It's
this
not.
one?
No, it's not this one. This one is the one for Windows, which actually third party. So you need to. Yeah, you need to do on Qlik.dev. So first link.
Oh, get started with Qlik CLI. There you go. It's right there. All right. So we'll put this in the chat. If anyone, if you're interested in it at all, take a look.
I actually did a support Texas Day session on this last year in November.
Okay.
So there's more details. There's a recording with much more details on how you can use that.
Oh, perfect. So if we go here to support and then programs, Techspert Thursdays, we can find all of the sessions for Techspert Thursday. Troy does a great job posting them usually the day after. Yeah, let's see, you said it was in November. Is it this one?
It's the one leveraging APIs on Qlik Sense Enterprise SaaS.
It's there. I have seen it right now. Down below.
Keep going down. Oh, leveraging
there,
APIs.
yeah.
There we go. Okay. There we go. So I'll put this in the chat. We are getting some questions in the chat. Once again, if you could please just put them in the Q&A panel, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, I see someone is asking about documentation about the QIX data files. And actually that API is not public yet, so that's why there's no documentation about it.
That makes sense.
So it's on the roadmap to make it public, but at this point it's not a supported API, so it can change at any time.
Perfect. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Damien. Hopefully that helps once it is public, or if it ever becomes public, then we'll have some documentation on it. All right.
Yeah, it's not that you cannot use it, but it's at your own risk because it's not stable, so it can change. Tomorrow it can change, for example, and then all your solution is breaking.
Right, that makes sense. Perfect. All right, let's see. Next question. I am able to make a connection using ODBC through DataTransfer and able to get the list of tables in an empty schema, but in case of large data sets, I'm not able to list the tables itself. Do we need to make any specific configuration to handle large data sets or any limitations with ODBC connector package?
I guess that this should be something to be posted in the community, so we can have a deeper look into it. As far as I know, there is we don't have a limitation, but we will need to double check that.
Okay, perfect, no problem. We are organizing our apps and deleted one by mistake. The app exists in our managed space, but the file is no longer editable or duplicatable. How can we recover this app?
So what happens in the first place?
So one of the apps was deleted by mistake, and the app still exists in the managed space, but they can't edit or duplicate that app because it's in the managed space, and it sounds like it's published.
There's an article about that on how to unpublish it. It's kind of a workaround on when you get in those situations when you don't have a way to get back your app. You can call an API to unpublish the app from the managed space.
Perfect. I think this is the article. So yeah, so
Yes,
there
that's
you can
right.
use the REST API, looks like, and unpublish the article. I've actually done this before, like playing around. It's actually pretty easy to do. So I think I actually created this GIF for everyone. So hopefully that helps. All right, so I'll put this link in the chat. Sometimes we go through and test and go through our articles and make sure that, you know, the steps make sense. And so we try to enhance them sometimes if we can. So I think this was one of those articles that I went through and created the GIF. See, there's me. All right. See, next question. When is Qlik Sense SaaS updated?
I would say when R&D wants or
I don't
plans.
think that's the official answer, but yeah.
We don't have. I mean, our platform it contains lots of components, so each component is updated separately. So each component has their own schedule. We don't know all the schedules, but you can check all the updates in the when you log in. There is a connect and learn on the corner, on the down right corner, and you can check what's new. And there we basically say what components have been updated and what's new in our product.
Yeah, I think I have that right here. I can just show really quickly. This connect and learn button here at the bottom will show you kind of what's new. And there's lots of videos now that are being created specifically by Michael Turallo. If you don't know him, he's marketing, and he creates some really great videos for everyone to kind of let you know, give you a quick, SaaS in 60 seconds update on, new features that are coming into the product. He also has a Qlik webinar series called Do More with Qlik. If you haven't checked any of those sessions out, I highly recommend it. They're really great sessions. He schedules them. He does like a couple a month, I think. And if you just, Google Do More with Qlik, you'll find the link to register for those events. But you'll see a lot of information in here. If you click on one and go to the Learn More button, you'll usually see, something at the bottom. You'll see the video, of course, and then you'll read the full release on the Qlik Product Innovation blog. So that's another great resource if you're not familiar with it. And then you can also read the detailed change log on Qlik Help. I think this is something that everyone was kind of asking for, was having a change log for Qlik Sense SaaS, because there are so many changes to it, and it for a while kind of wasn't documented. So I'll go ahead and put this link here in the chat for everybody. I think like major, they kind of do things on a monthly basis. They do release like major features a couple times a year, and then just kind of smaller updates on a monthly basis. But I believe they do like defects and patches and things like that on a weekly basis, but don't quote me on that. Perfect. Okay. There's another question in the chat. Do you plan to create a Qlik DataTransfer Linux version? Does anyone have any idea? That would probably be a better question for the ideation page, where you can talk to the product managers directly, well, directly via ideation, or maybe in the webinar that's coming up on the roadmap.
I mean, I haven't tested, but as a workaround, maybe they can use Wine HQ, which is a program that basically allows you to run Windows applications on Linux. So.
Okay. If you were to do something like that, it would not be supported probably by Qlik support, but you could also try it if you wanted to. Okay, let's see. All right. I am wondering if there is an app or an option in Qlik Sense SaaS where we can see information regarding the usage of the app's sessions and task details. I think this one would be, I think the app analyzer would probably be able to help you out with some of these details. Let me see if I can pull up some information. Just go back here to Qlik Community and just search App Analyzer. There's a couple of things out there. There was a STT recently on the App Analyzer that you will probably want to check out. And then also, not coming up. Let me go to all content and go to the blog. There is a blog out there about the App Analyzer as well, a couple things, troubleshooting tips, and then the actual page itself. And this is where you can actually find the App Analyzer. And anytime there's an update to the App Analyzer, the updated QVF file gets put in here. But it can do quite a bit. Here's some of the insights that it can provide. It really helps with like reload times and peak RAM utilization by app. So you can take a look at what's taking the longest in your environment to reload or anything like that, what's using the most RAM. You can do a threshold analysis for your fields, tables, and rows. And you can also, this is pretty cool, you can take a look at, it can help you improve your app development. So if you have a lot of synthetic keys or island tables, this will analyze all of your apps and see what's in there and kind of let you know that you might want to take a look into this and kind of fix this development here. If you need assistance with development, I would definitely recommend a couple things. You can reach out to Qlik, and we do have consulting resources and they can help with that. Or you can go to the Qlik community. Let me just go back here really quick. If you go here to forums, data analytics, Qlik Sense, I lost it. and then app development. You can post your questions here. So as long as, I wouldn't share obviously anything that's sensitive to your business, but you can post questions here or even just search through and just, get some helpful feedback from your peers out in the Qlik community. So I'll go ahead and put this link here in the chat. The cool thing about this post as well is that the developers of the app analyzer answer all the questions directly in this forum right here. So this blog post, you can see all the questions coming in and our employees answering. So this is where they kind of help you out with the app analyzer if you have any questions, if you want improvements to it or you want to know what's to come as well. They're very active out here in the blog for this, for the app analyzer. All right, let's see, next question. I can no longer see the export data into XLS from P&L Pivot. This used to work for me. Do you know what happened to the button?
As far as I know, this has not been reported, so I can check actually really quick right now.
I think it's listed on community as a list of non-issues.
I have the known issues article. I can take a look really quick.
I remember that I reported that in Qlik Sense for Windows, that there were several changes on this one, and there were fixes to because there were two export options, and they removed one of them, but they don't do the same thing. So R&D is still investigating on this one.
Okay.
I think it's all the way on the bottom of this page.
Yeah, it's on the bottom. You have a really good memory, Damian. Congrats. the last one is it?
Oh, there it is. Okay.
You're able to explore. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So looks like it is a known issue. If anyone's not aware, we do have this known issues article that lives out in the community knowledge base, and this is where issues within Qlik Sense SaaS are documented. I'll go ahead and put this in the chat for everyone as well. All right, and yeah, so hopefully that helps. If you see anything happen out in the cloud, I would definitely bookmark this article and just take a look at it and see if the issue that you're seeing is on this list. If not, then you'll want to take the extra step of reaching out to our support team and letting them know, or if something's changed or something like that. But otherwise, if we know about it, it gets put into this article of known current issues in SaaS editions. All right. I think this is kind of like a follow-up question to when is Qlik Sense updated. Do I need to do anything for the upgrades? No, you don't. We manage everything. If you're using our, Qlik Sense cloud services or Qlik Cloud Services environment, then we take care of everything. Everything's managed by us. So the only thing I would say is, just make sure you're keeping up on that connect and learn button so you can see what's coming in and the changes that have been made as well. This is a good question. So Qlik Sense SaaS, Qlik Sense Business, Qlik Sense Enterprise SaaS, Qlik Cloud Services, what does it all mean?
So, yeah, basically, Qlik Sense SaaS is a way to denominate all the products in general, all the cloud products. Qlik Sense Business is our business tier product. If you go to Qlik prices, You can also check the
Okay,
differences
hold it up.
between Qlik Sense Business and Qlik Sense Enterprise SaaS. Prices or pricing? Yeah, I cannot recall.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, here you have the differences. As you can see, the business, it's meant to be used for small business or smaller businesses.
Mhm.
And the enterprise is meant to be used by larger organizations.
Perfect. And then Qlik Cloud Services is just kind of where everything lives. It's kind of synonymous with Qlik Sense SaaS, Qlik Sense Business, and Qlik Sense Enterprise. And then the only other option out there would be the Qlik Sense Enterprise, which is our on-prem Qlik Sense version, which is hosted by the customer themselves and managed by the customer themselves. All right, so I think it's a last call for questions. If anyone has any other questions, let's go ahead and use the Q&A panel to get those in. Again, everything that was discussed here will be put in the FAQ. We do have a couple questions that we're going to follow up on, so make sure you take a look at that FAQ. We'll have the responses in there after we do a little bit of investigating. There were some really great questions today, so everyone, thank you so much. If there aren't any more questions, we'll go ahead and end the session, give you about 9 minutes back to your day. Again, don't forget about Qlik World. That's happening next, it starts next Monday. We have really great keynote speakers, including our CEO, Mike Capone, and then Malcolm Gladwell. He's an author. If you haven't heard of any of his books, he's an excellent author. And the next session is May, I believe, 18th. It is on QlikView, so look forward to that. And thank you, everyone, once again for joining us today. Thank you to my panelists, Alonso, Francisco, Damien. You guys did an amazing job, and we will see everyone in 2 weeks. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.